Once upon a time in the cozy village of Willowbrook, there lived a girl named Harriet. Harriet was a sweet and kind little girl, but she had a habit that made her feel sad. She often compared herself to others. Every morning, Harriet would get dressed for school. She would look at her clothes and then look at her friends' clothes. Sometimes she felt like her clothes weren't as nice as theirs, and that made her feel really, really sad. At school, Harriet would do her schoolwork. She would see her friends' work and then she would look at her own. And that made her feel sad too. During break, Harriet would play with her friends. She would see how they danced and played games. Sometimes she felt like she wasn't good at dancing and playing games. At home, Harriet would look at pictures on her phone. She would see pictures of people doing fun things and having adventures. Sometimes she felt like her life wasn't as exciting as theirs. One sunny day, as Harriet sat in her room, feeling a bit down, she remembered something her grandma had said about everyone being unique. She thought about what made her special and realized that she loved telling stories. Harriet picked up a pen and some paper and started writing down her thoughts. She wrote about the adventures she had imagined, the characters she created, and the lessons she wanted to share. As she wrote, Harriet felt a spark of excitement ignite within her. She realized that storytelling was something she loved and was so good at. She poured her heart and soul into her stories, using her imagination to transport herself to far-off lands and bring her characters to life. Harriet also discovered that she had a special talent for using her voice to tell stories. She would practice different voices and expressions, making her stories come alive in a way that captivated her audience. One day, Harriet gathered her friends and neighbors in the village square. She stood in front of them, took a deep breath, and began to tell her stories. Her voice carried across the square, weaving a magical spell that held everyone in rapid attention. As she finished her first story, Harriet looked around to see smiles on the faces of her audience. She realized that storytelling was not only her passion, but also her gift to the world. From that day on, Harriet embraced her talent of storytelling with all her heart. She wrote and told stories that touched the hearts of everyone who heard them, spreading joy, laughter, and wisdom wherever she went. Harriet learned that her talent for storytelling was something that made her unique and special. She no longer felt the need to compare herself to others, because she knew that she had something wonderful to offer the world. As she continued to share her stories with others, Harriet's confidence grew, and she found true happiness in doing what she loved. She knew that she was exactly where she meant to be, using her voice to spread joy and inspire others with her stories. As Harriet continued to share her stories with her friends and neighbors in Willowbrook, she discovered the power of storytelling to bring people together and uplift their spirits. One afternoon, as Harriet was telling a particularly adventurous tale about a brave knight and a mischievous dragon, she noticed a group of younger children listening intently from the outskirts of the village square. They sat wide-eyed, hanging on to every word. Feeling a surge of inspiration, Harriet invited the children to join her circle. With eager smiles, they eagerly gathered around her, their faces filled with anticipation. Harriet tailored her stories to their young imaginations, transporting them to magical realms filled with talking animals, enchanted forests, and daring quests. As Harriet continued to share her stories with the children, she saw their eyes light up with wonder and excitement. They laughed at the funny parts, gasped at the thrilling moments, and cheered for the heroes of her tales. Harriet realized that storytelling wasn't just about entertaining others. It was about connecting with them on a deeper level. Through her stories, she was able to inspire the children to use their own imaginations and explore the endless possibilities of their dreams. Word of Harriet's storytelling talent spread throughout the village, and soon she was invited to share her stories at community gatherings, festivals, and even local schools. Her tales became a beloved tradition in Willowbrook, eagerly awaited by young and old alike. With each storytelling session, Harriet's confidence grew and grew, and her stories became more vibrant and captivating. She experimented with different characters, settings, and plot twists, always striving to spark the imagination and touch the hearts of her audience. Harriet's talent for storytelling brought joy and inspiration to everyone she met. She learned that her unique gift had the power to spread happiness, foster connection, and ignite the imagination of all who listened. And as she continued to share her stories with the world, Harriet knew that she had found her true calling. She was no longer the girl who compared herself to others. She was Harriet, the storyteller, using her voice to create magic and spread joy wherever she went. And in doing so, she found true happiness and fulfillment in embracing her unique gift and sharing it with the entire world. Thank you, little ones. Until next time.